Oscar the donkey and Bobo the clown found themselves wandering through the picturesque Rocky Mountains of Colorado. The air was crisp, the sky a brilliant blue, and the towering peaks around them seemed to reach up and touch the heavens. Bobo, always up for an adventure, was bouncing with excitement, his red nose squeaking every time he jumped. "Look at these mountains, Oscar!" Bobo exclaimed, his eyes wide with wonder. "They're so big and beautiful. Let's climb one and do a comedy show at the top." Oscar, ever the practical one, looked up at the steep cliffs and narrow paths. "Bobo, don't you think that might be a bit dangerous?" "Nonsense," Bobo replied, waving off Oscar's concerns. "It'll be the greatest comedy show ever. The Rocky Mountain Laugh-a-thon." Despite his reservations, Oscar followed Bobo up the winding mountain trail. As they climbed, the terrain became rougher, with jagged rocks and steep inclines. Bobo, determined to make it to the top, kept up a steady stream of jokes to keep their spirits high. "What do you call a donkey with a big brain?" Bobo asked. Oscar, panting from the climb, paused to think. "I don't know. What?" "A smartass," Bobo quipped, bursting into laughter. Oscar groaned but couldn't help but chuckle a little. "Okay, that was pretty good." As they reached a particularly narrow ledge, Bobo pulled out his trusty unicycle from his oversized backpack. "Now for the grand finale. I'll ride this unicycle across the ledge while juggling these rocks, and you, Oscar, will bray a fanfare." Oscar's eyes widened in alarm. "Bobo, that sounds really dangerous. What if you fall?" "Don't worry, Oscar. I'm a professional," Bobo assured him, though his clown shoes were already slipping on the loose gravel. With a deep breath, Bobo hopped onto the unicycle and began wobbling precariously along the ledge, juggling the rocks in a somewhat shaky rhythm. Oscar, doing his best to stay calm, brayed a nervous fanfare. Everything was going well until a sudden gust of wind swept through the mountains, throwing Bobo off balance. He wobbled, teetered, and finally tipped over the edge, rocks flying everywhere. Oscar gasped, rushing to the edge, only to see Bobo dangling by his suspenders from a low-hanging tree branch, his unicycle spinning down the mountainside. "Help! I'm stuck!" Bobo shouted, though he was still laughing despite his predicament. Oscar sighed, relieved that Bobo was okay, and carefully made his way down to help his friend. With a bit of effort and a lot of tugging, Oscar managed to pull Bobo back to safety. The two sat down on the ledge, catching their breath and laughing at the absurdity of it all. "You know, Bobo," Oscar said, shaking his head with a smile, "you've got a way of turning even the scariest moments into something funny." Bobo grinned, adjusting his suspenders. "That's the thing about comedy, Oscar. Sometimes you've just got to go with the flow, even if it means dangling from a tree branch." As they finally reached the top of the mountain, the view was breathtaking. The Rocky Mountains stretched out before them in all their glory, and the sense of accomplishment was overwhelming. Bobo, never one to miss an opportunity, struck a dramatic pose and shouted, "Ladies and gentlemen, the Rocky Mountain Laugh-a-thon has been a success." Oscar laughed, his earlier worries melting away in the face of Bobo's boundless enthusiasm. "You know, Bobo, this might have been our craziest adventure yet, but it was definitely worth it."